know if you can see and hear me okay. This is going to be a group energy healing where I heal 132 people in 12 different countries, and it will be fabulous. And today is the July 2026 Twin Set Healing 2 of 2, where the theme this month is Liberate and Inform Yourself and Your Life. Can't quite work the Vanna White hand motions. There we go. Liberate and inform yourself and your life. And I am quite prepared. In general, the later that I start, the more prepared I am. So I am really, really prepared today. Thank you for my confirmations. I very much appreciate it. My first announcement is that I have linked in chat, I linked it a few hours ago, but you can see it there in the chat, a newbie information video. So it's basically the excerpt of the newbie information I said in the last live stream. You know, so it's like anything you would need to know about, like, what the heck is she doing? How do I heal myself while I watch? You know, who is she healing? Who is she? It's in that 5-minute video. So that newbie info video is in the chat, linked in the chat at the top of the chat, and also in the information section of this video. Well, of this live stream when it becomes a video. But so I hope that if you have any newbies in your life who are interested and want to know about me and how these group healings work, you could forward that to them. And hopefully it will answer their questions. So if you are just finding me now and you don't know who I am, just go ahead and click on that video. It's only 5 minutes and you won't miss much in the meantime. And that way you'll get the scoop on what's going on with this crazy chick. So what are we doing today? Today. Okay, so first I'll give the non-technical overview just for people who are not in the mood to hear about specific techniques, but kind of want to know what we're doing today with the healing and what we're aiming to accomplish. So the non-technical nutshell would be obviously liberate and inform yourself in your life is what we're trying to do, but more specifically, clearing denial. We'll be doing a bunch of that. Helpful realizations, helping you to have realizations like past life knowledge, as well as knowledge that's in your subconscious mind that you are ready to know, and it's healthy and gentle for you to know it, and helpful, obviously. So we're aiming to help you to have that knowledge sort of come to you now or, you know, in the near future. And positive change. So that's sort of the gist, non-technical gist of where we're headed with today's healing. So clearing denial, helpful realizations, and positive change. But there will be a lot of other benefits along the way. And then now I will get into more specifics about the techniques. So we're going to do a couple things today that help chakras, your major chakras along your spine, your 7 physical body chakras and your 7 astral body chakras. And the newest thing that we're going to do is what I'm calling chakra gates, which is a term I haven't used before. The angels sort of got it through to me that that's what I should call them today. So that's what I'm calling them. But they're kind of like the front of the aura version of good karma windows in the back. So good karma windows in the back are like straight behind the base of your skull, and like maybe the very top of your neck and in your astral body aura layers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, your good karma windows are there, and they're sort of like, if they work well, it's just a safe, makes your aura back here safer, and you can bring in positive change. One of the places you can bring in positive change is here. If they're all messed up, it then you get invasive energy this way, and so it's like overwhelming and messes with your focus. So that's why we take care of them and repair them and unblock them so that it's nice and safe and helps you with positive change and focus and sleep, all that good stuff, right? So front of the aura, I have already talked about telepathic mesh, which is a gold mesh specifically in your 5th astral body aura layer. So chakra gates is kind of like that, but for all the different astral body chakras. So like a gold mesh right in your 1st layer in front of your 1st chakra, a gold mesh little piece of, goodness in your 2nd layer in front of your astral body 2nd chakra, a gold flowing mesh piece of goodness in front of your 3rd chakra of your astral body, etc. 4th in front of your 4th layer, 5th in front of your 5th layer, which we already call telepathic mesh, 6th in front of your 6th layer, and 7th in the top, because your 7th chakra flows more vertically. It goes out the top and then comes down and you pull it up again. So the chakra gate for your 7th chakra is up here at the top of your astral body aura. So, but most of them are in front here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? But when we heal them, we're not going to bother all that. We're just going to heal copies out in front of you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just line them all up and heal them, and repair them, and, have angels recycle invasive beings that are messing with them, uncord people from them, all that. And if you repair them, it just really helps with boundaries, much like what people have already discovered. Many people that have communication issues or peace of mind issues have already worked quite consistently their telepathic mesh. So they know, like, that would be the 5th chakra gate. So they know how much that can help with boundaries. So all the others is the same. It helps with boundaries. So it's a good thing. And it's really simple. I'll just keep it simple, not like get all woo-woo about it. You just line up the gates, which are basically pieces of gold flowing mesh, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, line them all up and heal with gold light, repair, unblock, have angels recycle the beings, blah blah blah. So they're all repaired and nice, and you just get rid of your copies, and you've helped yourself a lot. So that's what chakra gates are. Easy peasy. Maybe we'll see how valuable it ends up being for people, but it might end up being like, the 6th essential after back of head stuff, or maybe before back of head stuff even. When we get the 5th essential and boot back of head stuff to the 6th essential. But anyway, today we'll just do our 5 essentials normally, and then we'll do chakra gates right after that. So that's chakra gates. Easier to do than it is to explain, as usual. So I have been using a 3-step wrap-up process that I still do like quite a bit. That is this one right here. Recycle lurkers, clear steps, and do a blue soak for your mind. And, blue soak meaning blue earth energy, just for your mind to like kind of soak it in that. It's super soothing and really delightful. So that's a nice sort of palette cleanser in between big techniques, so to speak. It just helps you, you know, clean up, and in case, you know, things got stirred up by a big good technique, because now you're way more present because of that big good technique, and you need to kind of, you know, take care of, cross your T's and dot your I's and get ready for the next thing. That 3-step wrap up is nice. But today I want to do a different 3-step wrap up where the first 2 steps are still the same: recycle lurkers and clear steps. Recycle lurkers and clear steps would be the same, but we'll just do a different 3rd step. Instead of blue soak for the mind, we will do this one. So like I said, recycle lurkers, clear steps is the same, but then that healthy and gentle, so in a healthy and gentle way, you know, whatever's like a gentle palette cleanser kind of a way, will unblock everything at once. Creative rings 7 and 7, both your 7 astral and 7 physical body chakras, and all your body's joints. So spinal joints, sacroiliac joints, you know, at the base of your spine, you know, all your, you know, the joints in your fingers and your toes, and, you know, the big ones in your hips and your shoulders, yada yada, you get it, right? So that's today's 3-step wrap up, which I think will be very nice. I think it will help, so I'm looking forward to it. But I think that'll be our palette cleanser for today, in between, you know, whenever I feel like, you know, we need to kind of get straight again after a big technique. So we'll see, but it'll happen at least twice in this set, if not more. So we'll see. Okie doke. So that's our new 3-step wrap up for today. So then, what else for today? Lots of new things for today. Okay, so this is new that we're doing today, and it's for helpful realizations, and it's a nice modification on the technique that we have been doing a couple times this month, which is working with an image of your mind, whatever visual representation you prefer. I've been using Mind Garden, but like a high level mind garden, not like you have to visualize every flower and every whatever in the garden. It's just, you know, whatever. 2 gardens, okay, fine. There's 2 gardens there, right? One for your subconscious mind, one for your conscious mind, flowy divider between conscious and subconscious mind. That, you know, information can pass through, that's meant to pass through, right? From your subconscious to your conscious mind. But then, you know, we've been using colored balls to represent healthy realizations that you're totally ready for, but you're not aware of yet consciously. And they're, you know, so like maybe there's 5 orange colored balls in your subconscious mind that represent a really nice realization that you want to have that would help you. And then you unblock, you melt blocks enough so that they pop into your conscious mind, right? And then sometimes you can read right then and there what those balls represented, like some kind of knowledge or decision or whatever. But other times, you know, you can just let it come to you in your life in the next, you know, day or week or whatever. So that's just colored balls and Mind Garden for helpful realizations. But melt denial nets is kind of even cooler, where you you because sometimes helpful realizations, they're not only in your subconscious, but it's like deep, 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 deep buried in your subconscious with lots of denial. So you can imagine the denial like nets that are like pinning down the colored balls, and maybe some of them are from past lives, even, you know, levels of denial from past lives. Some are, you know, whatever, someone kind of, yeah, whatever, we don't need to hyperanalyze it, but a bunch of denial, right? And these, as represented by the nets, right? So then, you know, of course, you ask your angels to recycle any invasive beings that are anywhere near that stuff and, you know, connected to the nets. And then you just use gold light and, you know, unhook everybody from the nets, you know, melt them away. You know, and that's important, because then, like, the most invasive people in your life will probably be courting those denial nets. And so if you just take your time and melt their cords away from the nets, then they can just kind of forget about what you're doing and go off and do their own thing, whatever, you know, something else not involved with you, right? And then you can just keep going until the nets fully melt. And then the colored balls pop into your conscious mind, which is nice. And you don't have to use colored balls. Like, sometimes I was working with somebody and the realization that they were meant to have that was, you know, held back by the nets looked like little blue flowers, a whole bunch of little blue flowers. And one time it looked like a gold key that was in somebody's subconscious mind, held back by a bunch of denial nets. So colored balls is just one way it could look, you know, but, you know, your angels and you might get creative and figure out different imagery that you like for different realizations, different things in your subconscious mind. But that's that. So it's melting denial nets and using, you know, the whole colored balls and mind garden for helpful realizations. And we'll do that. We'll probably do that 3-step wrap up right after it. You know, the one that I just talked about, the joints one, recycle lurkers, clear stebs, and then, you know, gently unblock all at once, creative rings, all your major chakras, all your joints. You know, just because when you get more present, a lot more present by an effective technique, with an effective healing technique, you know, it can stir up stuff. And so you want to, like, surf that really easily, you know, and just clear it and be like, yeah, what's next? I feel great. So if I'll look at people, if we need to, I'll do the wrap up after that step as well. I'll try not to take forever with it, but I want people to surf gracefully through these techniques. So that's that. So this is new too. So this is when did we do it? In the 3 of 3 healing. So the final healing of the triplet set earlier this month, we did an Akashic record upload and then download. So Akashic record meaning your method of, it's like an angel protected library that you have on the astral that's just for you, as opposed to like the universal Akashic records. But you have your own personal Akashic records, and that's what I'm talking about. And your angels protect it for you, and you can go there with angel escort, and, you know, like in your sleep, or in an out-of-body meditation if you wanted, but in your sleep is easy enough. But either way, but, you know, certainly only if you're at home when you're doing the out-of-body meditation on that, you know. But anyway, so we did the upload and the download. So the upload is like, you know, just stuff you're done with, and you're just like, you don't need to kind of keep track of it anymore in your energy, because it's kind of like you've learned it for now, or you've just kind of, you've worked it enough, and you're gonna just, you know, maybe in a decade you'll do it again, or in another lifetime you'll do it again. So your angels just file it away for you as you upload it into your Akashic records. So it's basically just with your intention, and then gold light through your 7th chakra just kind of gets it going, you know, and it tends to look like gold confetti going upward. At least when I see it, it kind of looks like that. And so these little pieces of gold just go upward, and your angels escort it up, you know, the information, and it gets filed away in your personal Akashic records. So that's an upload, right? And that's easy. And then the download is looks similar, like, you know, gold confetti coming downward, and it's information from your personal Akashic records. So like knowledge that you learned from past lives. Because, you know, maybe because you've been through a lot of past lives and learned a lot. And so a lot of times there are things like realizations and knowledge that you already figured out in another lifetime, in another situation. And you could use that now to kind of help you out now, right? So that's what a download is. You bring in that knowledge from your past lives. However, so that's what in general. So I guess that's the okay. Right? So I just explained the Akashic record upload and download, right? So now for the finishing part. So the angel showed me, I guess, really. I don't know that I noticed it without their nudging. I think they nudged and then I noticed it. But a lot of people don't finish their download. They kind of get stuck on it. Like they'll download some for sure, and then maybe a couple spurts, you know, here and there of more information, but there's more that they could bring down. It's like it's sort of in limbo on its way down because they're just unable to bring it in. So there were 2 reasons I noticed, or 2 things that we could do to make that download come down fully, you know, of all the information that is good for you to know right now from your past lives. And it's like, you're not necessarily going to be like, oh, I know this because of a past life. I mean, some people who are more aware, yeah, they'd be able to intuit that. But other people just, you know, be like, oh yeah, let me do it that way. You know, and they won't realize, oh yeah, that's cause in a past life, this happened to me, and that's why I know that, you know. But anyway, so, but for the stuff that's in limbo that hasn't gotten to you, it's out of your Akashic records, it was on its way down, and then you just couldn't bring it in yet. We will do 2 different things. One of them is we'll just do like strategic unblocking of the fronts of all your auras, which takes pressure off your chakras so they generate more energy. And then the second, which could help bring the download in. The second thing is we'll we will do kind of like a little bit of what we did in the last healing for creative rings, but for the 7th chakra. So in the last healing for the creative rings, we removed 1 or 2, you know, however much is healthy and gentle, inner surface devices from the creative rings. So your creative rings are 3 gold rings, 1, 2, 3. They're not this chubby, but anyway, but size wise, that's not totally off. It's just they're not that fat. They're more slender. But anyway, you have 3 of them, 1, 2, 3, and that you can have devices on the inner surface, and what the problem is then, if you have cracks, like damage on the inside there, the device blocks the healing of those cracks, right? So if you remove as many devices as is healthy and gentle to remove right now, give them to your angels, and then finish, do more repair, whatever repair that's now possible, because those devices are gone. It really strengthens your boundaries, and it can, make your creative rings work better, and actually start like an invasive being sort of spontaneous evacuation, which can help your mood and, a bunch of different things, like sort of like emotional stability and stuff. So we already did that in the last healing, the 1 of 2 healing 3 days ago. But I want to do a very similar thing, in the inner surface of the 7th chakra. So the 7th chakra is this way, oriented this way. The 7th chakra, it's much smaller though. It's like in there, right? So the top of it is right in the top of your head. The bottom of it is, right about in there, and, but anyway, so an inner surface device, same idea though, it would, if there were cracks and scratches on the inner surface, the device would be in the way and prevent the repair. So if you, just the ones that are healthy and gentle to remove right now, you have the recycle any invasive beings in the way, and you remove the devices, give it to your angels, or you can just melt them with gold light, and then do the repair that's now possible that wasn't possible before. Your 7th works a lot better. And so then not only do you finish your download, but it's like whoosh, it's like really easy and smooth, and you're just like surfing that wave really much more gracefully. So anyway, that will enable people to finish their Akashic record downloads that they've been trying to do. So most people get all the healings, right? Because they have subscriptions, or even the manual purchase people. There are a bunch that just manually buy, but they buy every healing for themselves. So those people already did the upload and the download, and so then they just need help, probably most likely finishing the download that they started in the earlier this month, right? But there are some people that I'm healing who dabble, and they just so they got this, they're getting this set, but they didn't get the earlier set this month. And so because of that, we will do an upload and a download right before, and the people that already did one like a week ago or two weeks ago, I guess, they'll probably do one, as I'm assisting, but it'll be maybe a minor one. Maybe they don't need to do a big one because they just did one, 2 weeks ago. So, but anyway, but we need to do it I need to do the process, like assist for anyone that needs it, because of those people that, did not get the healing 2 weeks ago, that 3 of 3 healing. So anyway, so that's it. So that's finishing your Akashic record download process. And even just that 7th chakra, removing those things, removing the inner surface devices, is a big deal, even just by itself, for different reasons. Your 7th chakra helps with confidence, goals, intuition, focus, identity, a million things. So that's that. But the definite reason we're doing it is because we want to finish the Akashic record download. So then, so actually that's pretty much it. I mean, it's a ton. I'm hoping that I can do it in a really efficient way. I mean, that's the plan. But we'll see. I'll watch people, see if they're surfing it well, and, so. And then the wrap up, the wrap up section that we do at the end of the healing, it'll be that, today's 3-step wrap up, along with, so the recycle lurkers. Oops, not that one. The other one. The recycle lurkers and the clear stabs, but then also the unblocking the joints and the chakras and the creative rings all at once. And then I'll do a really quick version of chakra gates at the end too. And the first time I do chakra gates will be right after the 5 essentials. For newbies that don't know what 5 essentials are, it's just the stuff that we generally do right at the start of the healing. Not always, but we always fit it into the healing, which is the 5 are grounding, aura repair, creative ring repair, chakra repair, and then back of head stuff. So it will be packed, our agenda for the day, but the effects of it should be quite pleasant and easy to surf, from what I know. But, you know, definitely please fill out your surveys. So thank you for your post-healing surveys that you guys have filled out. Let me get rid of that graphic. Hold on. Thank you for, I'm going to talk about 2 different kinds of surveys right now. So there's the post-healing surveys that everyone gets, you know, that purchases the healing, that I'm healing. I send out post-healing surveys after each, you know, healing so that you can fill it out in the next day or 2, so that I can review your feedback as I'm studying and designing the next healing, right? So thank you everyone for that, for your surveys. I did get a ton of surveys back, not Friday night, not Saturday, but today. And I don't mind that, but it would be much more helpful for designing and planning the next healing and doing my best for you if you did it earlier. Like, I know that I didn't give you the link for the survey, you know, for the Thursday healing until Friday evening, but like sometime on Saturday, you know, in the email I said, please fill it out on Friday, you know, now, Friday evening, or anytime Saturday, you know. And I was reading surveys pretty, you know, throughout Saturday, you know, so I could catch up with everybody. And then, but I did get a lot of surveys today. And I sort of spot read them, but I'd already designed the survey, the healing for the most part. So I just read them because I want to know how you're doing, but I couldn't, you know, redesign the survey, the healing based on the late information. So just a heads up, if you can try to fill them out, not the day of the next healing, but before then. But I guess the day of the healing is better than never filling it out. You know, because then at least I know, you know, I can catch up on them if I didn't have time, you know. And so it's better than nothing, but it's a lot better if I can have time to really take what you wrote more seriously. You know, if I can use the information to design the next healing, it's much more valuable to me. So that's that. But then the news email surveys. So I talked about those in the last healing already. So I am going to make a survey. I just didn't have time to do it yet. In part because I made that newbie excerpt video for the newbies, so I wouldn't have to say newbie information anymore in every live stream. So if you're listening and you're a newbie, in the chat, at the top of the chat, I linked a 5-minute video called Newbie Info, and you can listen to that even right now, just so that you have a better sense of what's going to happen in this live stream and how I work and who I am and yada yada. But anyway, so, but for the news emails, I'm going to have, you know, 3 different emails, monthly emails that you could opt into. And it's very customizable. So you could say, no, I don't want any of the monthly emails, or you could pick just one of them, or just two of them, or all 3. And so I'll have a survey where I explain each one, and when it comes out, and you can pick as many or as few as you want to receive. If you change your mind later, just let me know and I'll record your new votes on which surveys you want, which monthly news emails you want. And it's an opt-in thing. So if I don't hear from you and you usually purchase healings, I may just decide which news email you need, but I'd really rather not. I'd rather that you actually reply to the survey and tell me what you really want, because I don't want anyone to send it to spam, and I want you to feel like you're in charge of the emails you're receiving, that you have a say about it. It's because that's what I want. I want you to have a say. So anyway, that survey will come maybe for the next set, I hope, but we'll see. Can't promise. I have a big garden to take care of and a whole house to get ready to sell in a year. So lots happening on my days off these days if I'm not working. But sometime soon there will be a survey about your news email preferences, and please fill it out when you get it. It should be easy to fill out. A bunch of check boxes. All right. So yeah. So I will just look at I'm just going to look at pre-healing chat comments for a couple minutes before then I do my little quiet time for 3 minutes, and then we'll start the healing. So we can see and hear you. Thank you. We can see and hear you. Thank you. Someone says thank you for a new concept. I thought the telepathic mesh is in front of the 5th chakra at the 5th layer. Yes. So are the chakra gates located in front of each chakra or front of each chakra at the corresponding layers? Yes, in front of each chakra at the corresponding layers. So the telepathic mesh is the 5th chakra gate, which is like, back in the day, I don't know if you remember, but you've probably been watching my stuff long enough that you would have been around when I talked about what did I call it? The moon harp or something? It had some very poetic name. And it was like, I think it was the 5th chakra good karma window. It was the 5th good karma window back here. But the angels had me call it something really like exotic. And that was the first and only one that they showed me and had me teach, was just the 5th one. I'm not great at remembering stuff. So, but I want to say it was called like the moon harp or something really cool. But that was the 5th. It's also the 5th good karma window. And then, at some point they showed me, all 7 of them, and they wanted me to teach all 7 of them back here, So the telepathic mesh, at the time even, somebody was like, well, is there a 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 6th and 7th? And, the angels didn't want me to teach that, didn't want me to know it at the time. So, But yeah, so the telepathic mesh is the 5th chakra gate. And gate is like, that's the term they wanted me to use. I guess because it is a boundary. It's a nice boundary, but it also vibrates and flows, if it's properly taken care of. So it kind of resonates with the chakra itself. So it's not all like, keep out, It's just, it is a nice strong boundary when it's flowing and repaired, but it's yeah, I think it was the moon harp. Yeah. So the chakra gates are similar in that they're flowy and very cool, and they vibrate with the chakra itself. But there's also, it's very much a strong boundary. So it is, I guess that's why they wanted it to be called a gate. So yeah, that's why I said the 1st chakra gate is right here. 2nd chakra gate is right here. 3rd chakra gate is right here. 4th chakra gate is right. See, so my it goes further out from the body because it's in that aura layer. So 5th chakra gate is the telepathic mesh. Then 6th chakra gate is in the 6th chakra. So it's really in the same location as your clairvoyant screen, your 6th chakra gate. And then your 7th chakra gate is up here in your 7th layer. So yes. But maybe I answered that question along the way, and so you didn't have it anymore. But for other people who were still confused, hopefully that helps. I lost my place. Someone says, hi from Chicago, 85 degrees Fahrenheit and dusk, super muggy. And we get a photo emoji. Thank you. 85 and muggy. How about that? Yeah, we're back to like PNW weather. Actually, it's like perfect gardening weather today, which I'm trying not to resist because I obviously meant doing zero gardening today because it's all about work for me today. But it is perfect gardening weather here. It's like cloudy and really cool because cloudy weather is better if you're transplanting plants, like because the sun isn't as strong. But anyway, we'll see. Maybe it'll be good gardening weather Tuesday. Someone says, hi, Janet from New Hampshire with a nice tree emoji. Thank you. Yeah, moonroof. Moonroof. Oh, interesting. Moon harp is more fun. Telepathic harp. I want to say at some point I used a harp image. Maybe that was for the telepathic mesh. Or maybe it was just in my notes and I never ended up putting that in a video. The moonroof. Moonroof. Interesting. I guess because like, like a skylight and stuff. Interesting. Moonroof. Yep. Well, that's the public consensus. It was the moonroof. See? Moon harp in front of fifth. Mind harp. Ooh, mind harp. I love that. That's good. See, I'm really good at making names up. I'm not good at remembering the names. So like in between me and my husband, like I make up all sorts of terms for us. And then my job is to create the terms and his job is to remember the terms. So it's just how my brain works. It doesn't hang on to a lot of things. It just moves on and makes more things. Someone says, sorry, does it overlap the Chakra River? Well, it's at the end of one of the Chakra River. Right? It would be at the outer border of that layer. So I guess probably the river slightly flows through the gate if you want to be poetic about it. A little part of the river flows through the gate, but the gate is mostly in front of the river. just slightly. But you really don't have to like zoom in that much about it, just be like, yeah, gate, river, got it, you don't have to get out your microscope. I mean, you could, but I don't know if it's beneficial. You may just be driving yourself nuts. Okay. There you go. So yeah. So the nutshell big techniques for today, and this is the technical version of it, not the non-technical, which I gave right in the front. So of course our 5 essentials and the new 3-step wrap up, which includes unblocking the joints and creative rings and chakras all at once, which is cool. But then chakra gates, melting denial nets, and working with colored balls in the mind garden, and finishing the Akashic record download, in part by removing inner surface devices from the 7th chakra so it works better, and repairing so it works better. So high level, chakra gates, denial nets, finishing Akashic record download. That's all. Oh. So that's that. Alrighty. That's so funny that you guys have to remind me of the things that I put in my videos. That's so classic, though. All right, so now we'll just do our couple moments of silence, 2 or 3 minutes of quiet, where you can enjoy me not talking at all, and I enjoy it. And during that time, I'll finish my prep and say hello to the 132 people that I'll be healing on a. I'll say hello non-verbally to them, so that they are really, really, really subconsciously aware that the healing is about to start, so they can make the most of the opportunity. And then towards the end of that quiet, I will start healing, and you'll see me moving my hands like so. And then after maybe just a minute of healing that way without talking, then I'll heal more and talk out loud, say what I'm doing. So the rest of it's a walkthrough as well as a healing. You could heal yourself as you watch. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of group some of the 5 essentials together. So we'll do grounding and then we'll do aura repair right now. So for grounding, that's your connection to the core of the earth. So you could just recreate both of those connections with your intention, make brand new ones, make them nice and wide as all your auras, and have them go all the way down to the core of the earth. Make them both red or both orange or both yellow, whichever. You can test out red groundings right now. Test out orange groundings right now. See how that feels. Test out yellow groundings. See which one releases the most for you right now. And you can make a copy out in front of you of everything, both your groundings and then all your auras, and your physical body and your astral body are in the middle of all your auras. So use gold light from your hands, right? You set your hand and your fingertip chakras to a metallic gold color with your intention. So they generate gold light. And you just sort of think it or know it, or use your imagination or your vision if you have it. But if you don't, that's fine. And so that way your hands are generating gold light and you use that to comb through your space. So comb through your auras, comb through your chakras along your major chakras are along your spine. Comb through your groundings. Bring up the groundings that you just made so they're as high as your 3rd chakras. So your 3rd chakra is below your sternum. So there's your sternum, right? That bone in the middle of your rib cage. And just beneath your sternum, that's where your 3rd chakra is. So bring up your groundings that high to give extra support to your lower 3 chakras. Okay? And just lots of gold light, comb through your groundings and melt away any blocks. You want flowing grounding, really strong downward flow, kind of like a waterfall or a downpour of rain. But a good downpour. And just lots of gold light. You can sweep together all the energy blocks in your grounding just with your hands and the gold light coming out of your hands. Just sweep all the blocks together. And then just run gold light through those blocks. You could say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are cording these energy blocks? So again, your angels hear you when you say angels. Even if you didn't know you have them, your angels can hear you when you say that in your mind. So angels, can you recycle any invasive beings cording these blocks? And they'll do that in just a few seconds. And then keep using gold light to melt people's cords out of the blocks. And then melt the blocks. So whenever we melt significant blocks, we'll say that type of thing. Angels, can you recycle the beings? And then, gold light, melt the people's cords out and then melt the blocks or blow them up. And then check the outer surface of your groundings, and with gold light melt away any connections or anything sticking out of the outer surface of your groundings. You don't want any hard objects sticking out. You don't want any cords to other people sticking out of your grounding. Just melt all that away. Because your grounding works best when it's fully independent and just goes straight down with no connections to other people. And that's better for other people too. Is your grounding, it just gets clogged up if you link it up with a bunch of people. So just double check that. And you could have someone especially manipulative in your life who continually links up to your grounding. And you could ask the angels to help you to have strong boundaries with that person. And, maybe telepathically, you could suggest to that person that they take angel classes so they can learn about boundaries. But in the meantime, just keep checking and melt them out of your grounding. All right, so aura repair. I was going to do all one, but I'll put it in separate chapters. Why not? So aura repair. You have 17 auras. They're all in the same place all around you. So if you didn't have sort of detailed vision, it would look like one big bubble, but it's really 17 bubbles in the same place. And you can have little gashes, deep gashes. You can have big valleys, you know, rips, giant rips of, you know, because people throw energy and it can damage your auras. So you want to repair the rips, right? So first you can just sort of have your copy out in front of you and just look for, you know, kind of feel, it sort of feels like as if you're trying to step on a hole in a floor, you know, and it just kind of goes, you know, whoop, oh, there's a hole there, you know. So you can just practice. You know, at first you won't be able to tell maybe, but then you kind of get good at it with practice. So, but it is nice to be able to find those manually like this, you know. So you have your copy and you just kind of feel around and see if you see some rips or feel some rips. Because you have 17 auras, so it's really easy for you to have some rips. So if you have more than just one location that's ripped, it's probably more efficient. I mean, you don't have to do it this way, but it's certainly quicker usually to just repair all your rips all at once. So you create an image of a rip, and you say with your intention, okay, this represents all the rips that I have in all my auras. And then as you repair this rip, you're repairing all the rips at once, right? So you make your composite copy rip, say, okay, well, this represents, you imagine an image of a composite copy rip, and you say, okay, well, this represents all my rips. And then you want to clean it out first. And you clean it out with sticky gold wax, fill it up with sticky gold wax. The wax sticks because it's sticky. It sticks to everything that's not you. And so you lift out all that junk at once. Angels, here you go. Sticky gold wax. Lift out all the junk. Angels, here you go. And then you can say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are in the way of this repair? And then you just keep using gold light, get it as deep as you can so that the rips start to grow back and repair. And so that probably repaired most of your rips. You can do one more though, just in case you have a few leftover rips. So create a new image of a rip and just say, well, this represents every leftover rip that I have. And then you do the same process. Sticky gold wax, lift out the junk. Angels, here you go. So the junk would be hard objects that were thrown at you that are still sticking there. Invasive people, invasive beings that are attracted to the leaking energy. So fill up with sticky gold wax, lift out all the junk. Angels, here you go. Sticky gold wax, lift out all the junk. Angels, here you go. And angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are in the way of this repair? And then just get the gold light as deep as you can. And if you missed a couple hard objects, just grab them. Angels, here you go. Angels, here you go. Angels, here you go. So check the outer surface. Oh, you can redo your gold buffer zones. I do have a video on gold buffer zones if you care to learn in more detail. If you search Janet Wright Healing Gold Buffer Zones, you'll find it. It's 18 minutes long. But, you know, they're big gold flowy force fields that you make at the edge of your astral body aura and the edge of your physical body aura that slow the rate of aura damage. And you can recreate them really fast whenever you need to. So then just check for any leaks that you might still have, maybe a couple little leaks, and just, if there's hard objects there, pop those out, let them destroy, and otherwise you can just say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings in the way of the repair? And just repair all those little leaks. All right, good job. So that's aura repair. I'm going to change the order and do chakra repair first today and then creative rings. just for kicks. So again, we'll use composite copy technique, even though you could repair one chakra at a time. And so if you have a particular chakra that you know is damaged, of course you can use this technique, gold light and a copy out in front of you to heal one chakra. But we'll use this technique to make a composite representing all your chakras, all your major chakras and your minor chakras, and heal and repair and unblock them all at once. Melt cords going into them all at once. And you just have the intention. You only want to do what's healthy and gentle to do right now. So this is the basic chakra shape. It looks like an open cylinder, equally open on both ends to facilitate releasing and flow. So you make a copy out in front of you and say, okay, well, this represents all my chakras, every chakra, including minor chakras, not the 7 major astral and physical, but, your acupuncture points, those are all minor chakras, super important though. You have other chakras around your joints in all your major limbs, and you just keep the flow. Chakras keep flow and they generate energy. So anyway, make a copy out in front of you of a chakra and say with your intention, okay, this represents all my chakras of my body and my spirit. And then go ahead and do your work with gold light. And just, Izzy, it's okay, buddy. It's okay, baby boy. Izzy. For some reason, our dog, if you talk to him, he'll stop coughing. It's like the weirdest thing. So anyway, lots of gold light. Melt the cords going into your chakras. Melt the energy blocks. You can have energy blocks stuffed into, that blocking the flow through the openings, or stuffed deep inside, or wrapped around the outside. And chakras, like creative rings, have flaps around the outer surface. And when a chakra is really happy, the flaps relax and fall shut so that your energy can pass through normally, but it's harder for people to cord and cord around that outer surface. But if the flaps are open, they stick out like this, and maybe all of them stick out like this, or maybe just one up here and one down here, or maybe one here, one here, and one here, and one here, or like 3 here and 3 here. It just depends on what parts are irritated, and they get irritated by invasive beings courting you, or people courting you, someone maybe threw some hard objects which caused a little damage, different reasons that your chakra might be irritated, right? So you just imagine, right now you're imagining a composite copy of like all the chakras. So, but you can tell, so you have less precision maybe than if you're just doing one chakra at a time, right? But you can tell, okay, there's still more flaps open, so you still got to do more work. Oh, okay, yeah, there's still more flaps open. So just keep melting cords and popping out hard objects and repairing and unblocking and doing more repair. And, sometimes I wonder, because people will like miss a device that's like right, or a hard object that's right in front of their chakra. So, just moving things out that are suppressing the chakra and melting those things, or, blowing them up or whatever, is a part of repair. Repair is not just, okay, send gold light there, right? Because say you're really flowing, you would have a lot of ambient gold light. If your creative rings are doing their work, your manifestation rings are doing their work, you have a lot of gold light flowing around, right? So that's how sometimes things automatically heal, because of the gold light, right? But if something's blocking that gold light, then, that's why you like have this damage that, you have to then sit down and fix consciously, right? So long story short, definitely unblock while you repair so that the repair really works fully. Otherwise, there's a limit to how much you can repair because something will be, you know, hogging up the spot like right in front of where the gold light's supposed to go. So just keep melting away the blocks, melting cords from people, popping out the devices, and repairing. You know, because the gold light has to make really good contact in order for the repair to be complete. And you can melt the blocks in place like I've been doing, or you can lift them out. So you have your, you know, your copy of your composite copy chakra right here, and then you imagine the blocks that are healthy and gentle to clear, and you just levitate them above the copy, right? And so then you just have the blocks and maybe some invasive beings that are hooked into them. So you say like, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into this junk? And then you melt the people out of the junk, and then you could blow up the junk or just keep melting it with gold light till it's all gone. Right? So lift out the baggage. Angels, can you recycle the beings? And then you melt the people out. And then just keep melting them until the blocks until they fully melt. Or blow them up. But if you're healing someone else, it's too bossy to blow up their stuff. So you just melt it with gold light. Sometimes I prefer when I'm healing myself to, it depends on my mood, you know, but the benefit of melting instead of blowing up, even if you got everybody out, is like, if you got everybody out, it's gonna dissolve. And so if it's not dissolving with the gold light you're sending, probably someone's still cording. So it's like a nice kind of way to prove that you really, really did get all the cords if you just melt it with gold light till it's all gone. But, you know, 6 of one, half dozen the other. The point is, you know, just unblock and get on with your day. So now, you know, it's like use your intuition and be like, okay, fine. Maybe not every damn flap is closed, but a lot more of them are closed. And you just, at some point, you know, you move on with your life and say, okay, good enough. Alrighty, good job, good job. So then we can unblock for the theme too, you know, not just like in general, for general benefit, but the theme of liberate and inform your life. Let's see if I can do the Vanna White thing. See, it's more challenging because I'm seeing it in reverse. But anyway, so, and I don't want to block my face because Vanna White probably doesn't block her face, right, when she does it. So how would I do it? But Vanna White's not trying to do it on a camera where she sees it in reverse. Liberate and inform your life. Okay, there we go. That's enough. So, okay, so you have a copy out in front of you representing all your chakras, and you think, okay, well, what's screwing with me? What baggage is keeping me more repressed, less free, less, you know, more stupid? And just lift out the controlling stupid baggage. Say, angels, can you recycle all the beings? And then go ahead and melt all the people out and just keep melting it until it fully dissolves. Okay, one more time. Lift out the controlling stupid baggage. And angels, can you recycle the beings? And then just cold fire, get everybody out, melt all the cords, and melt the baggage. All right, good job, good job. Time to move on, right? Let's not spend a whole hour on chakra repair. Alrighty. We'll just do it the regular way. So, because the last, like 3 days ago, we you know, we did like a sort of an extra special one, which was really powerful, and we removed inner surface devices, you know, to the extent that's healthy and gentle. And we did extra repair on the inner surface, and it's a big deal. But we're gonna do other big deal stuff today, so we'll just do regular creative ring repair and unblocking. So okay, so creative rings, 3 gold rings, 1, 2, 3. Make a copy out in front of you of them. They have flaps as well. They are actually gold, which is what this drawing is. So this is a top-down view of one of them, any one of them, with the flaps all stuck open, which you do not want. So use gold light so the flaps can calm down, and you popping out hard objects, let them destroy and melt cords from people so that the flaps can relax and fall shut. So it's a nice smooth outer surface. And the top and the middle and the bottom can all have that issue. So go ahead and take care of all 3. And you can unblock above and below your creative rings, your auras above and below, and in the center of them. All right. We have achieved good enough. So back of head stuff. So we'll start with base of skull points. With the lovely diagram that somebody put in their fabulous meridian video. Right there. And then to the left, from far left to center. It's governing vessel meridian. Well, I guess in this way you're seeing it. Governing vessel. Sorry, gallbladder, urinary bladder, governing vessel. So governing vessel GV, that's the center one. So GB is the blue-green in the diagram. Urinary bladder meridian 1 is the yellow in the diagram. And then governing vessel meridian in the diagram is the unfortunate dark gray color. But on an energy level, you want all these meridians to be red and flowing. So just check them out and use gold light to heal them, and imagine their colors, and if they're flowing enough, and if they're like red and flowy and expanded as much as they need to be, or if they're like really cramped and clogged. And just, you know, have your intention be you just want to do the healing amount that is healthy and gentle to do right now. And just work. Gold light. And heal meridians. And the dots in the diagram, those are chakras. All chakras. Which I call minor chakras, only because they're not the 7, you know, famous ones. 7 physical and 7 astral body chakras along your spine. So right now I'm healing the midline one, governing vessel meridian, which starts in the crotch, goes up the midline of the back, arches around, goes straight up the midline of the back, arches around the head, and ends in the roof of the mouth. So you can just imagine that whole route if you want. A little extra unblocking for GV1. Governing vessel 1 is the first chakra, which is the first governing vessel meridian chakra, which is all the way down, you know, in your crotch area. And then it goes up all those, block them all. Light. And if you feel like a certain region of the governing vessel meridian is kind of cramped or stuck, and with gold light it's not really improving very much, it could be that that aura is damaged or extra blocked just around there. So each of these meridians has its own aura, which I call a Wei Qi aura. So it's like Wei Qi is protective energy. It's gold and flowy, hopefully. But, you know, so governing vessel meridian Wei Qi aura goes all around you, but I'm especially looking for rips and blocked areas in the back. You know, right, like this region in particular, I'm going to look extra there, especially the governing vessel meridian Wei Qi aura. And I'm just melting blocks there. Angels, can you recycle any invasive beings in this area? And you can make your a special grounding just for this base of skull region, a red grounding going all the way down to the core of the earth, bringing up the amount of red earth energy for this base of skull area. You know, unblock your auras behind, you know, this whole back of neck, base of skull area. All the auras, not just governing vessel meridian aura. Run gold light through the blocks. Angels, if there are any invasive beings hooked into this stuff, can you recycle them? People, melt the blocks. You can do a little extra healing of the back of your 5th, 6th, and 7th chakras, while the top of your 7th chakra. The back of your 5th and the back of your 6th and the top of your 7th. So you can sticky gold wax those, you know, the back of the 5th, back of the 6th, top of the 7th. Sticky gold wax, have it stick to hard objects, beings, invasive people, whatever, blocks that are there, and whoosh, rip off the wax with the junk. Angels, here you go. Sticky gold wax, top of 7, back of 6 and 5. Have it stick to all the junk. Whoosh. Angels, here you go. Extra repair now that all that junk is gone. The top of your 7th, the back of your 6th, back of your 5th. I am going to kind of mix up my order a little, which of course will be annoying when I'm doing video chapters later, but that's okay. I'm going to do chakra gates right now. I was going to do them soon, but I was going to finish back of head stuff first. But I feel like people's back of head area isn't healing as much as I would like, as thoroughly as I would like. So I want to do the chakra gates, which are in front, to see if that helps the back of head stuff. So anyway, I already explained chakra gates. They're in front in your astral body aura layers. They help with boundaries and the proper functioning of that particular chakra. So first chakra gate, second chakra gate, third chakra gate, they're in each aura layer. So first chakra gate's right in front of the first chakra in the first layer. Second chakra gate is right in front of the second chakra in the second layer. Third chakra gate, fourth chakra gate, fifth chakra gate, sixth chakra gate, seventh chakra gate is right here because the flow of your 7th goes up and down. Okay, so, but that's too annoying to go like that and then up there for all of them. So you can just heal copies out in front of you. So 1st chakra gate, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. Lay them all out in front of you, copies, and just heal them that way. It's easier. That's what I would say. So angels, can you recycle any invasive beings courting these chakra gates? And just run lots of gold light through them and melt cords from people out of these chakra gates. And you can lift out the blocks so they're above the gates and just melt the blocks that way if you want. That's kind of interesting. Lift out the blocks from the chakra gates so they're above and just melt them that way if you want. More gold light through your chakra gates. I had asked the angels if, you know, earth energy, bringing earth energy up to soak the chakra gates would be something they would advise. And they said they would prefer that I don't do that and just use gold light to heal the chakra gates. So take it for what it's worth. So I'm just going to use gold light to heal the chakra gates, not earth energy. And you can, you know, heal each one, you know, as you have the copies out in front of you. And you can just like play a game with you and your angels and have them like ring a bell, like ding, when you've done enough for each one. So 1st chakra gate, ding. 2nd chakra gate. Oh, that one needs a little extra work. I'm not getting my ding yet. I'm going to keep using gold light. Ding. 3rd chakra gate, you know. It's just a fun thing if you want, you know, so you can make sure that each one gets enough healing and repair. And of course, the first thing you gotta, you know, have angels recycle the invasive beings. And you may have to say that again at some point, you know, if one of them is extra messed up or 2 of them, then just angels, can you recycle any beings hooked into these 2 gates or any of these gates? And then just keep doing the repair until you get your little dings or your intuition tells you you've done enough. All right. Good job. So now I want to double check the back base of skull area. Okay, so gallbladder, urinary bladder, governing vessel in the center, right? Yeah, that did help a lot. Okay, so base of skull area is much nicer now. Very cool. Alrighty, that's that. So we will do our little palette cleanser that I talked about. Good job, good job. So I didn't do good karma windows. No, let me do that. Yeah, let me do that. So we already did base of skull points. And then we did the chakra gates just now, right? So then I gotta go finish base of skull, back of head stuff. Namely the good karma windows back here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? So the good karma windows, all my veterans know this to the point where they're crying when I have to say it again. But this is a basic image of what a good karma window looks like. It looks like a little picture frame, I guess, with a triple frame and a flowy center. And so you can heal all 7 if you want as a composite. So you're just healing one that represents all 7. That's kind of fun if you want. And just heal them so that the cracks grow back. Everything repairs. And you can say, angels, if there are any invasive beings messing with my good karma windows, can you recycle them? And any hard objects stuck in your good karma windows, which is possible, just lift them out, blow them up, or lift them out and melt them, or hand them to your angels, melt them in place. Lots of fun options. Lately, my favorite one is to just have them pop out and explode. But I would not advise you just saying, I mean, unless you're like a super newbie, but if you're not a newbie, I wouldn't advise you just saying, angels, can you get all the devices out for me? Because chances are your angels are going to look at you like, oh, really? So do you not know how to do it? Is that it? So I would advise, I think in my experience, angels don't mind at all recycling beings when you request it, you know, to the extent that you can handle it in batches, you know, when you request it. But the removing devices, I think the angels are kind of like, come on, meet me halfway, do some work. So you can sticky gold wax your composite copy of your good karma windows and have the wax stick to all the devices that are stuck there. And so then remove the wax with the devices all at once. Angels, here you go. Again, sticky gold wax, have the wax stick to the device, any hard devices that are stuck there. Remove the wax and the devices all at once. Angels, here you go. And then more gold light and just finish repairing. Nice flowy center. Nice repaired sides. And top and bottom. So you can kind of go back and forth and, you know, heal a copy of all your chakra gates, you know, lined up, and then heal and, you know, all your good karma windows. So good karma windows, chakra gates, good karma windows. Pretty interesting. I like that. So that was, we did a so first we did good karma windows, and then we did a combo of a little bit of chakra gate healing and good karma window healing. We just alternated back and forth. It's kind of fun. Geeky fun. All right. So interesting. So now we will do that nifty little wrap up, that the palette cleanser that I was talking about. Right there. So our little 3-step wrap up. I guess we can get rid of the theme for a second. Recycle lurkers. So lurkers are invasive beings that you have knocked out of your space because you are so awesome and you're getting more present with these techniques. And so you popped a bunch of invasive beings out of your space, but some of them maybe are still looking to make trouble in the future, and so they're lurking, still keeping an eye on you. Maybe they're a foot outside of your aura or up to 10 feet outside your aura. So those I'm calling lurkers. So you can just say, angels, can you recycle all my lurkers? And that's something you can ask your angels whenever you want, as much as you want. Having a standing order for your angels to recycle all lurkers every second of every day, they're just going to roll their eyes at you and be like, shut up. I think angels, you know, they want you to build your levels of intuition and awareness. So they're going to wait until you feel it's necessary, and then you can actually ask them for it. That's what I think. I mean, you know, you can work it out with your angels, but I have a feeling that's going to be what's going to happen. So anyway, that was easy, right? So then clear stabs, make a big gold blanket out in front of you, pile onto it copies of anything that's triggered right now. Maybe it's triggered because you're so much more present and you just stirred up a bunch of old baggage, or maybe it's triggered because of, you know, politics and global conflict and the economy or whatever. Who knows? Blah, blah, blah. Whatever's triggered on any level, just pile it out in front of you. Say, angels, is it healthy and gentle to clear all this right now? So that your angels can sort through it. And then use gold light from your hands and wash out all the baggage with gold light. Melt away everybody that's cording the baggage. Melt their energy out. Melt the cords. Melt your own energy out. And you can just keep using gold light until it all melts. Or you can blow it up. If there's any left over, just wrap it up in gold light. Hand it to your angels. Angels, can you help me with this? All right, so then we will do that third step, which is the sort of newer part to have in this wrap up, which is this, I did it once last healing 3 days ago. Healthy to the extent that's healthy and gentle. We're going to unblock at the same time your creative rings, all your major chakras, which I abbreviate 7 and 7. So 7 astral chakras along your spine and 7 physical body chakras along your spine. And then all the joints of your body. So that includes all the cool joints in your spine, joints at the base of your spine, your sacroiliac joints, which are, I can show here, which is quicker than me getting it probably. Where the heck is my little thing? Here we go. So sacroiliac joints, see right there? So the center right there, that's your sacrum. And then your sacroiliac joints are like on the side. And then there's the big ilium bones. And then your leg bones come up, and that's the hip joints, right? So all the joints, so including hip joints, including sacroiliac joints, including all the joints of your spine. So anyway, let's do it. Regular thing. Okay. So creative rings, you know where those are, up top above your head, all your major chakras along your spine. Just use gold light and just keep unblocking. And just, you know, chill out, have fun with it. Don't try too hard. So creative rings, all your major chakras. Unblock to the extent that's healthy and gentle. All the joints. So in your spine, you have joints that, all the skull bones that come together. Those are actual joints, even though, you know, they don't move a lot, hopefully. But you have joints even in your skull. So you can heal the joints in your skull. Heal your joint right here. TMJ, I think it is called. So all the joints in your head, the joints in your skull, all the way down, your sacroiliac joints, your hip joints, knee joints, ankle, all the joints in your feet. And then shoulder joints, elbow joints, wrist and finger joints. So shoulders, arms, fingers, elbows, creative rings, major chakras, spinal joints, hip joints, knee, ankle, feet. So just kind of surf around, do the arms, do the spine, do the legs, do the major chakras. All right, take some deep breaths, breathe into everything. See how you feel. And since that was probably kind of major just in of itself, then you can go ahead and ask your angels once again to recycle lurkers. Angels, can you recycle my lurkers? All right, great job. Woo! Okay, that's a lot to write out. It's going to be so small. I don't want it to be small. I think I will use my... Trying to think of what the simplest thing to do is, which I'm not always good at simple. Okay. How about that? Oops. Sorry. It's okay. Sorry. It's okay. All right. So for helpful realizations, we're going to do this exercise using colored balls and imagining your mind, if you want, as a garden, mind garden, or if you want to imagine your mind any other way, as a beach, as a forest, as two flowers, one for your conscious mind, one for your subconscious mind, or two trees, or whatever floats your boat. Two rivers, whatever, right? So you imagine your mind gardens is what I'm going to do. So one garden for your subconscious mind, one for your conscious mind, and then there's a flowy barrier between the two, which allows information to pass through at a healthy and gentle pace, right? And just heal your mind, right? Lots of gold light. And heal both sides, conscious and subconscious, and heal the flowy barrier in between with gold light. And just imagine some blocks that are healthy and gentle to clear in, you know, any of these sections, subconscious, conscious, or the flowy barrier, and just melt those blocks. You know, just to this extent that's healthy and gentle, you know, take it easy, just have fun with it. Just be like, okay, what would help my life? You know, what would make my life less stressful? You know, imagine the blocks that you can melt to make your life less stressful, and, you know, and whatever it looks like. Maybe it looks like a big black ceiling over the whole thing, and just go ahead and get rid of it, melt it away. Just angels, if there are any invasive beings hooked into this, can you recycle them? And then melt the people out. And then melt the whole thing. So one more time, you can imagine what energy keeps you from being playful? Because playfulness, you know, sometimes I used to have this much more than I do now. I think because I've just scared away all the people that are too serious, which is probably for the best, because you know, they're not going to be happy with my laughter. Heaven forbid someone laugh when they're discussing spiritual topics. But playfulness actually does help, you know, in most situations, you know, not all probably, but, you know, in many situations, you know, a little bit of levity can really help you to not get so mired, because we've all been through lots of terrible shit, right? But belaboring the terrible shit just keeps you in the terrible shit. So if you want to clear the terrible shit as soon as possible, it's better to be a little bit irreverent about your terrible shit. So anyway, imagine your mind gardens. And that is why overly serious people can't stand me. Thank you very much. Anyway, so just imagine if there's any sort of oppressive, unhealthy energy that really just kills your innocence and your playfulness and your ability to see the bright side in things, right? What is just weighing you down in your mind that's healthy and gentle to clear right now? And just imagine it like a mass of something, right? And say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are hooked into this junk? And then angels, is it healthy and gentle to clear this junk? And if it's not, they'll change it a little. So it's just what's healthy and gentle to clear right now. And then go ahead and just use so much cold light and melt everybody out of this, you know, heavy oppressive junk in your mind. And go ahead and just keep melting it. With cold light, get everybody out. It could be, you know, everybody you know, everybody you've ever met is courting it. Subconsciously, they're not trying to. They don't really want to feel your heavy shit. It's just a thing people end up doing by accident. So just get everybody out of your heavy shit so that you can clear your heavy shit. And just keep melting it until it's fully gone. Just fully dissolves. Or you can surround it in gold light and lift it out and give it to your angels. Angels, can you help me with this? That's plan B. Always good to have a plan B. And just, you can bring up blue earth energy to soak your mind. I always love doing that. So energy straight from the core of the earth, make it the color blue, bring it up. Blue soak for your mind. Blue earth energy soak. La 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 la. Deep breath. So nice blue earth energy to center your mind and calm your mind. Help cleanse it. All right. So that was a delightful little mind healing and unblocking. So now we will do what I actually said we're going to do, which is to help you have helpful realizations. We're going to imagine, you know, if you imagine it as a garden, you imagine the helpful realizations that are still in your subconscious mind, but they would be really helpful and gentle if you were to be conscious of them instead of having them buried in your subconscious, right? So imagine these helpful realizations, but you want to imagine ones that even are, they're being suppressed by a whole bunch of denial nets, but these are ones that are healthy for you to realize now consciously. But denial isn't logical. You know, if you go into denial, 5 lifetimes ago, it could still be there unless you actively get rid of your denial. It's just one of those stubborn things. So anyway, you have your subconscious mind. Imagine some helpful realizations that are just deep buried beneath some denial nets. And you can double check with your angels. Angels are these ones healthy and gentle for me to become aware of in now or in the very near future. And so if they are, you'll still be imagining them. All right. And you just imagine them. You have fun with it. You can imagine them like a big gold key, or, a couple colored balls of energy, of a certain color. And then just imagine the denial nets, nets. It could look like something else, like a giant rock that keeps it down. But I sort of saw it initially when I was working on this as, netting that just keeps them down. And then just start running gold light through those denial nets. And just say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are hooked into these nets, hooked into this denial or the realization energy. And then once your angels do that, just keep melting away the denial nets. And if they're not melting, then just lift them out, surround them in gold light, lift them out, give them to your angels. Angels, can you help me with these? And then just keep, if there are a couple more denial nets, maybe just keep melting them. And then at some point, once you get all the denial nets out of the way, the colored balls of helpful realization energy pop into your conscious mind. Just go boom, and they all end up in your conscious mind. So then, you could sit there and intuit, okay, these two are about this part of my life and this is about this part of my life and all that. Or you could just, let the information come to you, soon in the near future. As you're doing something, you'll be like, oh, that's how I should do it, whatever. So that's that. That's the whole exercise. So let's do it again, a little faster. So you have both your minds, right? And imagine some helpful realizations, and it could be some project that's really near and dear to you, like a new job that you can't figure out what that should be, or whatever, you're trying to figure out which project to do first and you kind of train wreck on it, or whatever, right? So some helpful realization that you care about, that would help you in some area of your life that means a lot to you, right? So imagine that helpful realization energy as, colored balls of light or some kind of rainbow colored object. And then imagine the denial nets that are keeping it in your subconscious mind, even though that's not healthy anymore, right? And then just run gold light through the denial nets. And say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are plugged into the denial nets or anywhere near the denial nets? And then deep breath and melt people out of the denial nets too. A lot of the invasive people in your life especially will be courting the denial nets, but it could be really anybody that has ever been close to you in this lifetime might still be courting the denial nets subconsciously by accident. So just melt everybody out. And once you get everybody out, then the gold light will start melting the nets themselves. So you can keep doing that until they're all gone. Or if some nets are a little stubborn, you can just wrap them up in gold light and lift them out and give them to your angels. Angels, can you help me with these? And just keep doing that until the helpful realization, colored balls of energy or, pretty colored representative object pops into your conscious mind instead. And then you did it. Good job. Woohoo! Yay, butterflies to celebrate. All right. So, and you can do that as much as you want. Just, double check. Angels, is this healthy and gentle to do right now? Okay, so I explained all this before the healing started, and it'll be its own little explanation chapter. We'll have Akashic records in the title of the video chapter title. But so now we're just gonna get going with it, right? So personal Akashic record upload for those that need it. I'm gonna do it for everybody, and so if you really don't need it, nothing will happen. And if you need just a little one, then you'll do just a little one. And if you need a big one, you'll do a big one. Okay. So your seventh chakra is in your head, in the top of your head. You have two, one for your physical body, one for your astral body. And I'll heal both at the same time. So you can make, if you're doing it just for yourself, you know, make an image of both your seventh chakras and representing both your seventh chakras, and use gold light. So they're oriented this way, right? With round openings at the top and the bottom. So just lots of gold light. And breathe. You can do gold light up and down your whole spine. So for all your 7 chakras, 7 major chakras. And as you keep working your 7th, you can just remind yourself, you know, you could say, angels, can you help me do an Akashic record upload if I need it? And that's usually enough, you know, and just keep healing your 7th chakra as it happens. So like I said before, a lot of times to me it looks like gold confetti going upward, you know, from your 7th upward, and your angels are taking the information upward to the information you no longer need right now, to your personal library for later when you need it. So you can just keep breathing as that Akashic record upload continues for as long as you need it. And this can help you get closure. It can help you let go of physical objects that you no longer need. It can help you to feel ready for some bigger change, because it helps you kind of clean up loose ends and just finish what's finished. So that's the upload. Pretty easy with angel help. So now the download process. So the Akashic record download, we'll just do the regular process just like we did in the 2 weeks ago, in the 3 of 3 healing. So the download, again, looks the same, you know, so to me it looks like gold leaf coming downward of your eternal information that you've learned in your past lives that you need right now. So your angels help you to bring it down to you into your 7th chakra, so that you, for the most part, that's how it comes in. And so then you have it to learn to use, you know, now or in the near future in your life. So just imagine your 7th chakra, unblock it a little extra, maybe unblock your grounding too, because bringing energy in, you know, it helps if you're more present and grounded. So gold light along your spine, gold light in your grounding to unblock it. You can say, angels, can you help me, you know, do an Akashic record download if I need it? And depending on how unblocked you are, really you could just bring it all down all at once, or just a little bit down, and then the rest of it kind of queues up and doesn't finish yet. But you can just see how far it's going to get right now. Use your intuition, you know, stay here, you know, stay present in your physical body. Let the information come to you. You know, your angels are helping. So at this point, you know, if the energy hasn't come to you, it could be that it's like stuck halfway, kind of in limbo. So you can just kind of intuitively read if you want. It's optional to read it, but it's kind of interesting, you know, like, okay, so maybe a third of it got stuck in limbo, or maybe 80% of it got stuck in limbo, and you got 20% of the download. So you can just kind of get a read on that if you want. And so to finish it, that's the next step. So now we're going to finish the download. And so what we need to do to finish it is some unblocking and some extra 7th chakra repair. So the front of all your auras, we'll just sort of comb together all the energy blocks that are healthy and gentle to clear right now that are suppressing the flow of your major chakras. So comb through the front of all your auras and just make a big bunch, you know, gathering of all the blocks that are healthy and gentle to clear right now. That would help you to kind of, you know, liberate your chakras so they generate more energy to the extent that's healthy and gentle to do right now, right? So then you're running gold light through those blocks that are in the front of your auras, and just say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are hooked into this stuff? You can say, angels, is it healthy and gentle to clear all this baggage right now? So that way, anything that's too much, your angels will remove it from your pile that you got going on. And then you can keep melting, melt everybody out, and then melt the blocks fully. And then maybe scoop together another bunch of blocks in the fronts of all your auras. And see, angels, is it healthy and gentle to melt all these blocks? And then angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into this junk? And just keep melting quartz from people, melt everybody out, melt yourself out, melt the blocks. So chances are your chakras now, your major chakras, are generating more energy now than they were. So that could be enough for your Akashic record download, certainly to restart again, but maybe even for you to get all of it. So you can just breathe and give that another 30 seconds and see if that's going to help it to finish. Or maybe, you know, you just got another 20%, but there's still more queued up that hasn't come in. So the second thing that we're going to do to help that is the 7th chakra stuff. So we just did the unblocking your chakras, unblocking the fronts of all your auras enough to help your chakras generate significantly more energy. So now we will, with the 7th chakra, both 7 chakras. Okay, so now to help you finish your download, we're going to melt inner surface devices in the 7th chakras, your 7th chakras, to the extent that's healthy and gentle. So maybe there's like, who knows, you know, 15 of them, and it's only healthy and gentle to melt 2 or 3 of them right now. So don't even worry about how many there are. Just think of how many are healthy and gentle to melt right now. Maybe it's just 1, you know? So you have a composite copy of both your 7th chakras out in front of you. Purple is the ideal color for your 7s. So set them to purple, your favorite shade of purple if you want, or whatever shade of purple you want. And just imagine, so inner surface devices would be like in here, kind of jammed in here, maybe the full length of them, you know, so just this, a weird thing, just sort of coating the inside, right? So that's an inner surface device. So just imagine which one, how many are healthy and gentle to clear right now. And then you could say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into these devices? And then you can just surround the devices with lots of gold light. So that loosens them up, and then lift them out the devices and give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. Lift out the devices. Angels, here you go. And then just do the repair. So you can imagine whatever little scratches or cracks are on the inner surface that you weren't able to repair before. And now you can. So just use gold light on that inner surface and take your time and melt and breathe as you're working. And sort of repair the imperfections in the inner surface of your 7th chakras. You can say, angels, help me do this. And just chill out while you do it. Don't take it too seriously. Don't get your microscope out unless that's fun for you. Then go for it. All right. So that's that. So that was just a little extra nice treatment for your 7th chakras. So now, chances are your Akashic record download just finished. So a couple deep breaths and see how you feel. See how your mind is. See how your body feels. All right. So we'll just have the wrap up section of the healing now. That's a fun suggestion. So part of our wrap up will heal and unblock your biker shorts area, which we haven't done in a while. It always makes me laugh. All right, so the 3-step process that we're doing this time is right here in beautiful Technicolor. So let's do it, baby. So recycle lurkers is easy. That's something you can just ask your angels to do. Angels, can you recycle all my lurkers? Invasive beings outside of your aura that are looking to make trouble at their first opportunity. Deep breath. And if you still have a couple more, center yourself again and just say, angels, can you recycle the rest of my lurkers, please? All right, good job. So then that second step right there, clear stebs. So stebs is stubborn triggered energy blocks. So make a big old blanket out in front of you and pile onto it whatever is triggered now for you, copies of whatever's triggered now for you, whatever baggage for any reason, even subconsciously, or something someone dumped in your space a week ago, whatever, anything you want to clear, just pile it onto the blanket. Say, angels, is it healthy and gentle to clear all this right now? So your angels will sort through it for you. And then angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are hooked into this junk? Deep breath while your angels do that for you. And then lots of gold light. Melt the cords from people going into these blocks. Melt everybody's energy out. And melt all the blocks. And once you have everybody out, you could blow up the blocks too. That's fun sometimes. All right, good. So then, and if any are left over, just wrap them up in gold light. Give them to your angels. Angels, can you help me with these? So then that, the third step right there, to the extent that's healthy and gentle, that's the H and G, unblock all at once your creative rings, your 7 and 7, so your 7 major astral chakras, 7 major physical chakras, and all your joints, right? So your major chakras along your spine, 7 and 7, your creative rings, which are above your head, and all your body's joints, including the joints in your skull and the back of your neck. All those good joints in your spine, your facet joints, and your disc joints. See in that diagram there, the light blue color. That's viewing the back of your vertebrae, 2 of your vertebrae, and the light blue color facet joints. And they allow you around. And then the sort of the cookie filling discs are your disc joints in between each vertebrae. We're going to block those. And your sacroiliac joints, which are there. And your hip joints. You got your creative rings, your major chakras, joints in your spine, your sacroiliac joints, your hip joints, your knee joints, your leg joints, your ankle joints, your feet joints, your toes. All those cool, you have so many joints in your toes. Right? And then your shoulders and your elbows and your wrists and your finger joints. Right? So all the joints in your body. Then gold light. You can bring up red earth energy, soak all the joints in your body. A nice little cleansing. Freshen them up. Chakras. Creative rings. That nice. I like that. So that was that. Double check your grounding. So you can even recreate your groundings if you want. Make them as wide as all your auras and wide all the way down to the core of the earth. And make them both the same color. You can test out red groundings. See how well you release with those. Test out orange groundings. See how that feels. Deep breath. Test out yellow groundings. See how that feels. And just go back to whichever of those colors you prefer. But ideally keep both your groundings the same color. At least while you're awake. Unblock your groundings. Find some blocks in your grounding and just go ahead and melt them away. Find some blocks in your grounding that you might just avoid for 2 weeks first and have them complicate your life. And instead of that, break your pattern and melt the blocks instead. Okay, that's how you change. You have to change what you do, right? What is that expression? It's a fool who does the same thing day after day expecting different results, right? So go ahead and you kind of gotta, push the envelope on yourself, right? To the extent that's healthy and gentle. But, as you're combing through your grounding, find some blocks that you would normally just be like, no way, I'm not going to clear those, subconsciously, right? Find those ones that you would love to avoid, but are healthy and gentle to clear right now, and go ahead and just surround them in gold light. Say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into these blocks? Melt all the people out and melt the blocks. Right? Because to change your pattern, you have to change yourself, right? So again, find blocks in your grounding that you would normally just avoid, even though they're better off melted, right? Find those blocks and say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into these blocks? Deep breath, and then use gold light and melt the blocks. Melt the cords from people going into the blocks and melt the blocks fully. All right, good job. So we did that 3-step wrap up, and then over there, and we did grounding again. So let's do chakra gates again, just super quick version. So chakra gates are in front of your, and up here in your astral body aura, one in each astral body aura layer. So 7th chakra gate, 6th chakra gate, 5th chakra gate, 4th chakra gate, 3rd chakra gate, 2nd chakra gate, 1st chakra gate. And they're gold, flowy, and mesh. But rather than heal them all in their exact location in your aura, you can just put copies out in front of you of all your chakra gates, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, gold, flowy mesh, and just use lots of gold light and get everybody uncord everybody and melt the blocks in and around your chakra gates. And just angels, can you recycle any invasive beings cording my chakra gates? And again, you know, in order to change your life in a positive way, you have to change your energy, right? So go ahead, rather than ignore some schmutz, some gross stuff that's been caked on one of your chakra gates for 2 lifetimes. If it's healthy and gentle, let yourself be aware of it so you can melt it now. Right? That's how you change. It's not just, you know, berating your angels like, angels, I've asked you to help me. So go ahead, find some blocks in your chakra gates that you would otherwise just ignore that are healthy and gentle and clear right now, and melt them. There you go. You're a rock star. All right, you can get rid of those copies out in front of you. So the last thing we will do today is my beloved biker shorts unblocking. Biker shorts area. Woo! Hello. I never expect that. It's so funny. So I didn't exactly mean that, although that does show the meridians in your biker shorts area, which is useful information, but I just feel like that view is a bit jarring. So let's get rid of it. All right, that's the view that I was hoping for, actually, with my little disco glitter that I love so much. So this is the biker shorts area, which is where the biker shorts are. And keep in mind, this is a perfect airbrushed version. Not even the models looked this good. It is airbrushed. It's fake. However, it does indicate an area of your body that I'm talking about, right? So just imagine your biker shorts area, a copy of it out in front of you, and be loving, be kind, understand that you've been brainwashed by airbrushed lies your whole life. and your form is an actual real human body without airbrushing, and you actually have a life. It's not your job to be a professional model and work out and do nothing else all day. So forgive yourself and heal your actual biker shorts area and unblock the auras around your actual biker shorts area. And you can heal your astral body in that area as well as your physical body in that area. And the good news is you can sort of infuse sexiness into especially your astral body in this area if you want, regardless of your physical form. I don't know if you've ever noticed that, but I have noticed that there are some people that have a much sexier biker shorts area than others, but it doesn't necessarily relate to how physically fit they are. psychically, just, you know, it just, people can have all sorts of baggage in the area, right? And, you know, we've all been through a lot, but there's no reason to keep it here and have it gross up your energy all the time, right? So be nice to this area, be loving, be kind. Just angels, help me to heal and unblock this area to the extent that's healthy and gentle, to the extent that would really make me enjoy my life more and more. Right? You can bring up red earth energy, you can bring up orange earth energy, bring up yellow earth energy, lots of gold light. Block your auras all around your biker shorts area. And your first and second chakra are also in this area, right? First chakra is at the base of the spine, second chakra is below the belly button. There's just a little extra unblocking for those two chakras. You can even unblock the chakra filaments that connect. So you have your second chakra physical, second chakra astral, and the chakra filament connects the two, second chakra filament. So just imagine that connection between physical second and astral second and unblock it more. Gold light. You say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are anywhere near this area? Repair and unblock your second chakra filament. Same thing with first chakras. Physical first chakra, astral first chakra. Red is a good color for your first chakras. You can bring up red earth energy too. Unblock, heal. And imagine your first chakra filament. Same thing. Angels, can you recycle any invasive beings anywhere near this stuff? Yeah, just repair. Pop out any hard objects, any devices. Unblock. Melt away cords from people. All right, beautiful. Get rid of that copy of your gorgeous bacteria that much now you love more than you used to. All righty. So we could put our theme back up. So angels, can you help me wrap up this healing? You could say that to your angels. Angels, can you help me make the most of the rest of this month? Angels, can you help me make the most of the rest of this year? And then you can think of some special project that you really care about and say, angels, can you help me with this project? And angels, can you help me make the most of the rest of my life? All right. Good job. Good job. That's a healing. Woo, woo, you're a rock star. Yay. Woo. Okie doke. So the healing is done. I hope you enjoyed it. And so I'm going to go ahead and kill the camera for a few minutes while I take a restroom break. I'll give you some, maybe some pretty ocean waves to look at, maybe. How about that? Let's see, that one's nice, right? Or maybe should we do the evening one? I have an evening one. Let's see, this one is the evening one. How about that? For many of us, it's the evening. I guess for some of my clients, it's early morning now. So that kind of looks like early morning too. So there we go. That's a more time appropriate one. I like that. So let me get rid of the rest of it so you can enjoy the scenery as much as possible. Let's see. There we go. Now you can see the birds better, the flying birds. But anyway, so I'm going to take a quick break. You can too, and then I'll come back, turn the camera on, and just do a quick stretch for a moment. And you can stretch too if you want. Don't feel like you have to copy me though. Just stretch, move around if you want. And then we'll do a little post-healing chat about energy healing stuff, about the healing, the theme, whatever. You can put in the chat how the healing was for you. The chat may be somewhat shorter because it is quite late for me already in the day. I prepared so much that it's 8 o'clock at night for me already. So, but we'll see how the chat goes. If I can't get to all the comments, then you can just repost your comment under the video after it's a video, and when I have time, I'll post a comment reply to your video comment. But anyway, so okay, let me get going with the break. Hey, I'm back. So I'm going to just do a little bit of stretching. If you want, you can do your own stretches, whatever is gentle for you. And then we'll get going with the chat. Easy, cut it out. Easy. Stop. Good. Hello, hello, hello. Hope you had a good break. I think I'm going to leave this background up. I like it. Maybe I'll make myself a little bigger. All right. So feel free to give this live stream a thumbs up if you haven't already. This is my thumbs up for you. I should have asked at the start of the healing, but of course I forgot. Of course. But yeah, feel free to post how the healing was for you or just a greeting. Post how you're doing. Whatever. So let's see. Looking for comments I haven't gotten so far, read so far. So it says, thank you, beautiful soul. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you very much. You're very kind. You're very kind. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Someone says, thank you, Janet. I feel so mellow. Oh, and you posted this after the healing. Yeah. I feel so mellow. I really liked every technique. I am glad. I've been trying to work financial abundance and safety on and off. I'm making some progress, but to me, it doesn't feel fast enough. Looks like the colored ball technique has been helping me a lot with compulsive spending. Ooh, very nice. Yeah, I think it's been helping me too. Not with compulsive spending, but with like compulsive like YouTube watching and distracting myself. I tend to like do all sorts of like side projects when I have a larger, more significant project that I'm avoiding, and I feel like I haven't done it as much. I still do it, but it's a lot less than it was, and I'm able to like pull myself out of it in a way that, you know, sooner. So yeah, I think part of it was that exercise, the colored ball with the mind. But anyway, I'm glad it's been helping you with compulsive spending. And you're saying, but it also feels like my mom is somehow delaying my progress. Am I reading that right? Yeah, I think your mom and your sister, like with the stuff that we did today, you know, with the denial netting, when you do it yourself, you know, in just a meditation, you'll see it's like, it's interesting, like when you run gold light through the denial netting, that's repressing and forcing some helpful information to stay in your subconscious and not your conscious mind. You'll notice, like, I mean, just random people that totally mean well are courting the denial netting, but like to like the people that, you know, are more invested in blocking your progress will be more courting the denial netting. So like your mom and your sister court a lot of your denial netting. But if you melt them out, you know, take your time, melt them out, and then they go their own way and like ignore what you're doing, then you get to melt the rest of it and have your realizations without them like freaking out and doing a backlash. So that's why you would sort of take your time with the melting, getting everybody out of the denial netting, so to reduce backlash. But yeah, I would say your mom and your sister, it's almost equal. Well, I mean, your mom just has more energy, period. Your sister just doesn't. So I think that's why your mom is more invested in it than yours. Well, I guess your sister is sort of halfway not invested in it too, but I would say it's like, you know, your sister puts in like half the energy that your mom, half, whatever. You get it. Yeah. So just work on the exercise today, this form. I think this will be nice. And maybe I think this will help with the whole mom repressing stuff. So the denial netting meets colored ball mind garden work that we did today, which will be its own chapter in the healing once I get around to making the video chapters, which will absolutely not happen tonight since it's already 8:19 tonight. No friggin' way. If I were to do them tonight, there would be really something wrong with me. So tonight I'm just gonna email people and say the healing's done. And then I'll finish stuff tomorrow. But yes, accurate reading. Someone says, thank you, Janet. I feel so calm after removing 7th chakra devices. Isn't that nice? Cool techniques today. Yes, I worked really fucking hard on them. I mean, not like, you know, like climbing 10 mountains, but I did really focus on them. It's like twin sets are more like that though, you know, because it's like I've been working the technique all month, and so it's just I just get like better and better at it. So I put a lot of thought into actually the first healing of this set too 3 days ago. That one, it's not so obvious that I put so much work into it because it wasn't like blockbuster things, except for the seventh, the creative ring one. That was pretty blockbuster, but I did test it out a lot, like energy wise, to make sure it would be easy to surf, you know, at post healing, you know, and everything for people. So, but this one, I guess I put even more design work into it, and it's more obvious because like a lot of new stuff. So anyway, I'm glad it felt good. That's neat. I'm glad. Someone says, I noticed the amount of healing energy I received during chakra healing. I compare it with energy I generate when I heal myself. How can I opt mine? I think you mean increase yours. I do start with healing hand chakras and melt blocks to relax, ground, and also ground. I loved the finish download. Yeah, finish the Akashic record download. It was a good technique to let go and receive. I would say more potent than unblocking 7th, 8th connection. Yeah, I mean, that was a big one to like realize that a lot of people don't finish their downloads. Like that never occurred to me. Because I've been talking about downloads for, you know, a decade. But I never realized, like, okay, people don't finish. I mean, I knew that it took a bit, you know, but I mean, I guess I just wasn't meant to know and teach at this much back then. So that's why I know it now and I'm teaching it now. So it works out. But anyway, it is kind of mind blowing. But that, and the fact that the 7th chakra, you know, to remove those inner surface devices of the 7th, and the information just comes in so much more quickly and smoothly. So yeah. Thanks for your feedback. But you had a thing before that. Oh, you said, well, you were comparing the energy that you receive from, yeah, the gold light you received from me during the chakra healing versus the energy that you generate with your own hands to heal your chakras. Yeah, it is a lot less. Well, I mean, what I would say is compare it to, rather than compare it to what I can do as a healer, you know, compared to what you can do as a self-healer, I think it's more constructive to compare it to your healthy max at this time. Do you know what I mean? In this lifetime, at this time in this life, yada, yada. You know, so like if we look at, okay, right now and call that, well, if we call your healthy max for you at this time 100%, right? And that's the amount of gold light that, you know, if you tweak and, you know, maybe just within the next month or so, you know, like kind of work in certain ways, what can you increase to? And that would be like your healthy max, right? So that's 100%. So what are you at now? You're at 30% now. So for the next month, you could do certain things strategically to increase really by about 3 times the amount of gold light. So that's very cool. So then the question is, okay, well, if that's your healthy max in the next month, what do you need to do to get to that? You know, this part that we did, I totally forget what I called it. I think there was some cool name that I invented for this. I totally don't remember anymore, but it's like this energy right here, so that you have this, it was like a river of whatever goodness, positive change rivers, I think, maybe. don't remember what I called it. But anyway, you can unblock this area here because there are a lot of key energy centers right here, like acupuncture wise. And so there's this flow right here that if you can unblock it, then it's like the universe can help you and stuff, and good energy from the universe can come in this way. And so I think that could help strengthen your presence in your shoulders and your arms and your hands, and therefore help you generate more gold light. I think chakra gates, work chakra gates more, and then work unblocking this, whatever the hell this is called. Somebody's going to remember it and they can put it in the chat. This area right here, so that this, it's like a receiving zone, but from the universe. I forget what it's called. Some kind of positive change rivers or something right here. So chakra gates and then positive change rivers. So, and see if, and just keep working that, so that, I mean, not like, don't obsess on it. Like, you get to, have fun with it. Just, try to, don't get too serious about it. Just kind of wing it, have fun with it, play your favorite song as you do it, just chill out. Because you'll grow faster that way if you chill out. You don't get too serious. So, but anyway, see if you can get to your healthy max within a month. Okay, so I hope that helps. Somebody says, oh, I gotta make sure I'm seeing all the chat. YouTube, oh, it says top chat versus live chat. So top chat means I miss some comments sometimes. So I'm gonna make sure. Hopefully I didn't miss any yet. Okay, I didn't miss any. Okay. Someone says, thank you, Janet. How do I clear the repeated conversation to explain/defend, to do my own thing, express authentically, voices, appearance, and or my own voice speaking to myself? Oh, and you mentioned your name. Thank you. Okay, so you're talking about inner voice stuff. Like, so it seems like you're arguing in your own mind. So you have an inner critical voice, and then you argue with it. What I would say is just don't bother arguing. If you hear anything negative, just be like, angels, can you please help me with my sound boundaries? Or angels, can you recycle? If that was from any invasive being, can you recycle them? And angels, can you help me strengthen my sound boundaries? Don't engage. Because, I mean, centering, just being calm, work your inner peace. Because say it's you, right? Talking to yourself. It probably wasn't, but say it is. Say it was you just being like self-hating, right? Well, then centering yourself and working your calmness and just, feeling your breath and wiggling your toes, think of your favorite song or something, redirect, just get present, get more present. Because if that was you, it's because you were less present, you're more blocked, right? Your vibe is off, right? So adjust your vibe, right? Don't stay on that verbal level, just, get more present, like that whole thing of like, you have to change to get change, right? So just, recenter, breathe, but at the same time, just for a minute, just for like 10 seconds, just be like, angels, can you recycle whatever invasive beings that was, and then just recenter and just, calm yourself and relax, because it probably was an invasive being. But if it was some kind of hateful person in yours that managed to, whack their way through to, say your telepathic mesh or your fifth chakra, then, as you're recentering, you're getting more present and you're not going into resistance to whatever person that is, and then just gold light, earth energy. You could do a tricolor soak or something. Just, just be nice to yourself, nurture yourself. You could do some neck stretches. You could, just some one of these energy processes that I do during the healing that's simple and easy, like a red, grounding for the base of your skull area, maybe in the back of your neck, or just do some physical stretching, or, see if you've eaten protein lately, eat some protein, just recenter. Don't get into a back and forth in your own brain. It's not really going to change anything if you do that. I mean, it may change a little, but it's like this much change. Whereas if you really want to change, you got to just disengage from that and have your angels clean out. If that was a being, you say, angels, can you give me a clean out? And just then you do your part and just recenter and do something nice for yourself. So I hope that makes sense. I do have, that short video playlist, which is linked in the info section of this live stream. And also it's featured on my YouTube channel page. If you look on there, it's like, I think it's the third down at this point. It says shorter videos. And in there are a lot of nice options. If you like walkthroughs instead of, just freestyling, doing something nice for yourself. There's there are two interesting ones that have to do with the brain. One is like grounding and unblocking your brain. And one is something else with the brain. But your angels seem to be suggesting one of those for you. Maybe the grounding and brain unblocking one. It's short. You might like it. So I hope that makes sense. And if you have a follow-up question about it and you're still listening, if I have time and you post it, I could answer a follow-up question on that if you want. Someone says, thanks for all the work you put into the healings. They're always so cool and fun to work. Well, thank you. I'm glad you like it. Someone says, hello, Janet. I'm just following along with your video today. Yes. So meaning I did not heal you, but you healed yourself during the live stream, which is great. Is there anything you see that I can focus on the most that would shift me the most? And you did not give your initials, which is okay. I can sort of wing it. But ideally, if I don't already know your name or your name is implied, literally by your YouTube name, just put your initials, first and last initial. It just helps me a teeny bit extra to visualize you. Because a lot of times people have up a lot of like shielding, identity shielding when they're on the internet, but that shielding makes you a little harder to read, but I can still do it. But, so anyway, if you're still listening, you could post your initials, but I'll take a look. Okay, so I'm looking. Oh, thanks so much. I see your initials. So when I look, it looks like you did a lot of the work really well. As you were healing yourself, following along, and you unblocked a lot, and your space overall is brighter. But it looks like you you missed with the aura repair, you missed some of the rips back here. So like upper back, like the midline, it's like a little bit back from that. And it's just like right here, a little more on your right side than your left side, I think. But sometimes I read sides opposite. Maybe it's because I'm looking at the camera opposites. I don't know why, but it looks like it's a little more on your right side, like above your right shoulder, you know, right side of head, a little bit, but mostly back right. But there's like maybe about like 5 of your auras have rips right there. 5 out of 17 of your auras. And so you could just imagine that area and sort of send a lot of gold fire all the way deep in the rips and just keep the gold fire going and just say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings in this area? You know, and just keep, you know, doing the gold light until it fills up. Because once you get the beings out of the way, then the gold light fills up that area, kind of like you're pouring water into a glass. And so you'll just see it, you know, increase, and it just grows back. Your auras grow back. And then do a little extra, because there's gold mesh in like 15 of those auras, you know, that needs to reform. That is then it keeps generating gold light, those Wei Qi auras. So just, that's what I would say, is just do a little extra in the upper back right. So I hope that makes sense. So a little extra aura repair would be great. And you said, oh yes, you're right. I always feel that on my right side. Even if I clear it, where or who does it come from so I know? Well, yeah, you don't have to know to repair it. So just to make that clear. I don't think it's from a person. I think it's just invasive beings. You know, a lot of people have invasive beings. Most people have invasive beings just messing with them and trying to mess with them. And so what happens is you're just more prone to being blocked there. And so it's just an easy in, you know, like if you have blocks in your auras, I mean, everyone has some blocks in their auras, right? But blocks cause a weakness because, you know, like when people play pool, you know, on a pool table with a stick and everything and balls. So what happens with pool, right? You use the cue ball, the white ball, and you knock the white ball into the other balls, and that makes them move, right? And so it's like physics, right? So the ball moves the other balls, right? The force that you put into the white ball then goes into the other ones, right? So that's what happens with a whack. Someone throws energy, or an invasive being throws energy, right? And if your energy is all flowing, then it just bounces out. But if your energy has hard plates, you know, energy blocks, then it's like the pool game, right? And so the force connects with the stuck energy and then goes deeper and connects with more stuck energy and then goes deeper and connects with more stuck energy. And in the meantime, it just rips open the aura. So you're just more prone to having blocks there. And so it could be a person one day, it could be some invasive beings another day. You know, it's just, so it's more just that's like a chronically blocked area of yours, rather than there's just one person in your life who's hell-bent on that spot. Usually people have some more typical things they might do. Like there might be some invasive person who's more upfront, and so they'll just tear your face off, so to speak. You know, they'll just like, you know, send everything they got right at the front of your aura, right around your face. But there'll be somebody else who's more passive aggressive who will hack at your back of your auras, you know, because they don't exactly want you to know how much they hate you, you know, subconsciously, whatever. Maybe they don't know consciously they're doing it. They're just kind of a hateful person. So anyway, so like I said, sometimes people do have more general patterns like that, but a lot of times it's just subconsciously they can kind of see, invasive people or invasive beings can kind of see where your weak spots are. And so then they kind of aim right there, unfortunately. So the glass half full version of that is that it's the universe telling you where you need to get stronger and more flowing. All right. So that's the bright side. So now you know a part of your energy that you could work on improving to improve your whole life, which is true. So yeah, so it's just the universe helping you learn. So I hope that helps. So let's see. So I will go back to the comments I skipped, but I just want to read that person's reply for some continuity. So, yeah, that person says another comment. Thank you. That was helpful. I also feel it strongly in my body. I get tight and tense, can't breathe. I saw as I was centering, grounding, an entity attached to my mom appeared. Did I see correctly? Yes, that's true. Yeah, it's pretty common that people you're dealing with them, but also they're invasive beings. So sometimes, like I'll use my birth father as an example. He's my father, but I haven't spoken to him in decades, and I don't plan on speaking to him again. So I call him my birth father, just so you know. But anyway, he, what was I going to say about that? Oh yeah. So when he whacks me, I look at it to see like, okay, are there just some beings motivating him to ruin his karma even more and whack me even more? Or is that just him stuck in, many lifetimes of repressed anger and sadism, and lately it's B. It's just him. But if it were his beings causing him to create more drama and ruin his karma even more, then I could say, well, angels, can you recycle any of my birth father's beings that are attacking me? Just say that are attacking me, because that way you're not declaring war on all the beings from everybody that you know, because that would be unwise. That would be too big of a battle. Because everybody has a lot of invasive beings messing with them. But to just get the ones recycled that are literally attacking you is a good precedent to set, because then, it's like you kind of read as more of a badass on a spiritual level. So you're less likely to get bullied. It still happens, but it's a little less likely, which is nice. But then that way too, the rest of that person's beings can just learn, oh yeah, we should ignore her. So I hope that helps, that little example. So yes, that was a being of your mother's taking advantage. Invasive beings can like jump from one person to another, kind of like fleas jump from one dog to another. But fear not, you are a massive eternal soul, just like I am, just like everybody listening is. So, these invasive beings just are little piddly things trying to scare us, but they're nothing. I mean, if they were big, they would be a human being spirit and have their own life, or whatever. They wouldn't be jumping out of your mom. So yeah, just remind yourself, I am a big and powerful eternal soul. And just say, angels, can you recycle? You can even line up all your genetic family and just look at the beings of theirs that are attacking you, and just be like, angels, can you recycle all those beings, or as many of those beings as possible, just the ones that are attacking you. And likewise, if you're a person like myself who works with many people through your job, you can also imagine all your clients, and don't heal them all at once, because that's group healing, which exposes you to a great level of risk on a spiritual level. But you can imagine everybody and just the beings of theirs that are attacking you right now, and just say, angels, can you recycle all those beings? But don't send all those people energy at the same time, because that is group healing, which is, you know, exposes you to a lot of attention from the biggest invasive beings on the planet. Which, you know, is fine if you're ready for that and you're a professional group healer and you know you're ready for it. But if you're just dorking around, or you know, if you're just capable but you are not ready for that level of invasiveness, then don't do group healing. just imagine the invasive beings that are attacking you or targeting you, and ask your angels to recycle them. That's safe. That's fine, because your angels are doing the work in that case. You're saying, oh wow, that makes so much sense. I didn't even notice I was talking to these invasive beings. And yes, it's like I hear the response on my right side from those people or beings. Thank you. I'm noticing this a lot. Good to know. And also how to clear with the angels' help. Thank you. Thank you. Yep. Yeah, just ask the angels to do it. Only the ones that are, you know, targeting you. And that's safe for anybody to do. Even a newbie. Okay, so I'm backtracking because I think I missed a few in order to get that continuity. Serenity Rivers. Oh, isn't that funny? I couldn't have remembered that for like $1 million. Well, I could have reread it probably eventually. That's usually what I use instead of memory. I just read it all over again, or I listen to my angels and they remind me. So it's not actually memory. So Serenity Rivers. It's a nice name. I like that name. Serenity Rivers. How nice. It's cute. I think we worked on them in March or April of this year. Well, how about that? Yeah, so if you search on YouTube, Janet Wright Healing Serenity Rivers, it'll come up. YouTube remembers. YouTube remembers. It sounds like a commercial. Someone else said receiving rivers. Yeah, I think Serenity Rivers is more what it was. It's funny. Someone says, when we did Akashic record work, I felt fear, not sure why. I'm afraid to do that healing technique. That would be somebody jumping into your first chakra and screaming at you. Oh, it looks like your knee crushing sister your knee crushing sibling. She jumped in your space and screamed at you into your first chakra. Yeah, she's the type to be very upfront with her attacking. So once you repair your first chakra again, then you could go ahead and enjoy that technique. And, you know, just saying, angels, can you give me extra boundaries with my family members while I heal myself? That could be something you could do. They could probably, I think they would agree to that. As long as you don't expect them to do it forever so that you don't have to get stronger on boundaries. But, you know, just temporarily, you could say, you know, angels, while I do this healing work for the next hour, can you please, please, please just help me with boundaries with my family so I can just experience the techniques on my own? Please. I think they're totally cool with that. All right. So yeah, you got to repair your first chakra, just physical first. She has this way of screaming like this whack at you. And so it's like this whole bunch of energy. And it's not a being, it's her. It's weird. It's a kind of, I guess it's a cool trick. It's super bad karma for her. Not anything I would recommend that anyone ever do, but there's that. The joys of genetic family members who are Not so nice. Oh, you know what I did? I read two different people's replies, thinking it was the same person, but yeah, it's two different people, but that's fine. It all works. Yeah, it makes even more sense now that I know it's two different people replying. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Yeah. All right. Great. Okay. Well, that's cool. So I guess it works out. No, those are all the comments. So, I did my announcing. Oh, for the newbies that, I don't know if you two guys are newbies. You maybe were just people that watch my videos, but if there are any newbies that are watching right now, I did link in the chat at the top of the chat, a new 5-minute video of newbie info, which is basically an excerpt of what I said for newbies last healing. So if there are any actual newbies listening, you know, it could orient you to some basics about how we're healing, the people I'm healing, and I explain the astral body in that one too. So it's a 5-minute video called Newbie Info that I just made today. That is linked in the chat and also in the info section of this video / live stream. Okay, well, I guess we'll just wrap up then. That sounds good. So for those of you listening, I'm not going to do Jack tonight. I will, work-wise. I will email people, though. That's a little bit of work, but not so much. I'll email people, the people that I've been healing, just to say, hi, the healing happened. Here's the video. Love you. And then I'll do all the extra stuff tomorrow. The healing outline and the video chapters and sending out the post-healing survey. Okie doke. Do I have any updates? Let's talk about pets for a moment. Why not? I haven't mentioned them in a while. So we have 2 cats and a dog. Both the cats are pretty young, relatively. One is very young. He's like 1-year-old now or something. 1 year and 2 months old. 1 year and 3 months old almost. That is Felix, and he's very big and tall. He's a big boy. He's a sweetie. Everybody's healthy right now, which is great. I mean, relatively, you know. So Felix is doing fine. Boo Boo Kitty is our feral cat who's indoors only. We love her so much. It's kind of crazy because we don't even see her that often. We see her at night. We see her when we bring food into her, you know, at midday when we bring her breakfast in, and then we see her at night. She comes out to eat, and Felix is in a crate, so he can watch everything, but he can't bully her because they don't. Hopefully soon they will start to get along, but that has not occurred yet. So he eats his dinner in his crate and watches, and then she eats her dinner out and about, and so then she gets to wander the house at night, which is adorable. So cute. I call her Officer BBK for Boo Boo Kitty, and she just like patrols. She goes around and around and around the whole perimeter of the whole. I mean, it's not a big house, but the whole perimeter. She'll go in every room that she can, and just the whole outline of the room, and you know, like she's on patrol. So funny. And then sometimes she'll just sit and lounge. Like she'll lounge on the bedspread, or she'll lounge on this chair. She lounges on this. She was lounging on this chair a bunch last night when she was out. And We put on, once we're done eating and watching whatever we're going to watch, we put on YouTube, we put on bird videos for her, or raccoon videos, or squirrel videos. She's particularly fond of the squirrel and the raccoon videos. But the birds she likes also. So anyway, that's Boo Boo Kitty. She is feral, so she loves us from afar, but she does not love other people. So we had these contractors that came who have good energy, but you know, it's just voices that she didn't know. So we didn't let the contractors go into her room. You know, so she got to be closed up in that room and her little safe place. But just hearing their voices was like a lot for her. Hearing that and knowing that they're in the house. So she still hides sometimes in her room rather than just lounging about in her room during the day, because I think she's thinking that the contractors are going to come back. Which they actually will at some point. But they're not going to go in her room. So, but yeah. So hopefully she, over time, gets used to their voices in the house. Because we have a lot of stuff for the contractor to fix. But anyway, and then Izzy, our dog, he's doing well. I mean, you know, for a senior dog with epilepsy, he's doing well. He's on medication, you know, around the clock, and we give it to him every 8 hours. And you know, he's old, but he's doing good for an old boy. He's on very, very specialized diet with like 50,000 supplements because his intestines are not what they used to be. But if we're really careful and we keep up with all the right supplements in just the right amounts, then his intestines are fine. Fortunately, mommy's very intuitive. So, you know, with a little bit of vet advice and then a lot of mommy's intuition, we've been able to keep that going strong. But that's it. That's our crew. So there you go. Alrighty. For all the pet lovers. Okie doke. So I'll just end by putting up my website and my email address. I do have 2 promotions, one for new people. If a person I've never healed before in a group healing buys a set for themselves, they get a set for free as well. A set of healings for free. Or if you've gotten healings for yourself before, but you have a friend who's never gotten group healings with me, then they count as a pure newbie, I call it. So if you're buying a set for the pure newbie, then you get a set for free to use on yourself or a different person. So that's the newbie promo. And then there's the new subscription promo. So if you buy a subscription for healings, you know, so a full subscription where you're buying, you know, through automatic payments, both healing sets each month, that's a full subscription. Or a twin only subscription is just the twin sets each month. Like this set of 2 healings was a twin set. So a twin only healing is, you know, for people that, some people I guess don't want that many healings, but most people get the twin only healing just because it's half the price. So that's what a twin only healing is. So if you get a full subscription now with this promo, you get 2 free sets. And if you get a twin only subscription now with this promo, you get 1 free set, which is useful because the subscription's purchased 2 months ahead of time. So then there's this gap before your healings start when you're already paying. So you can use the free sets to help fill the gap if you want, or you can give them to a family member. Anyway, so those are the 2 promotions going on, and either way you can just view themes and dates and learn a little more about me on my website, jwhealing.com. Alrighty, you guys are awesome. I guess I want gold confetti and not butterflies. I don't think there would be butterflies at the beach. Nah, we'll put butterflies on our beach. Alrighty. Oh, I did the confetti too. I'm so addicted to the confetti, I can't stop. All right, bye. You're the best. Take care. Have a good rest of the month. See you next month.